Hey everybody, this is Mitch Ferraro from F Street. I hope everyone's having an amazing day out there today. I'm super excited to have this conversation like always. Reason why I'm super excited is because we have our owner and founder, Scott Lurie, on today. And today we're going to talk about everything Investor Summit. We just recently had our Investor Summit. It was a great event. 2 full days, jam-packed, speakers, networking, investors from all over the country coming in. I'm super excited to be able to talk with Scott about it, do a quick recap, because it was super high energy. There was a lot of investors that came in again from all over the country. So Scott, just getting right to it, the investor event, we had about 80 investors come in from all over the country, some local. Why do we do events like this? Like, there was so much energy. We had speakers, networking, food. Why do we do events like this at F Street? And again, this was our second annual. We did the first one last year. This was our second one, which was even better. And I know we're already looking at the third one, but why do we do events like this for our investors?
Well, one quick correction. We had people from all over the world. We actually had someone from Ecuador, one of our investors who flew in via way of Texas, where I think he was originally from. And that was great to see him, and then obviously see all of our investors from around the country. The reason we do these events is for several reasons. One is, obviously, it's good to get everyone together, right? Yeah. To express our gratitude for each investor, for people who put their trust and confidence in F Street. They get to kick our tires at the office. They get to meet the infamous Mitch Ferraro, who gets to talk to him every day. They get to meet our entire team. They get to walk in our offices. We get to share a drink, have a couple meals together. In this case, we actually toured one of our development sites as well. We did a hard hat tour at Summit, which people loved, and got to see the progress there. And so overall, the number one reason we do it is open book transparency. Yep. I think is really the key. We've got nothing to hide. We want to show investors who we are. Yep. We're proud of what we're building, and we're really very. What's most important to us is trust and confidence, right? Yep. It takes 1 million years to build it and 1 minute to lose it. Yep. And we recognize that, and we want to bring everyone here to Milwaukee to showcase our beautiful city, where we do some of our development, where our PDF and the Hard Money Co. is ran out of, and get to meet all of our staff, ask questions. So transparency, open book, get to see where we conduct our business, and get to meet people that we candidly don't get to meet every day. We talk to them a lot, and you feel like you know them, but you don't get to actually shake their hand and say, hey, I'm Scott, or hey, I'm Mitch. And so those are the reasons for this event and all of our events next year. We're building on it, adding speakers and understanding where people really want to see us bring them insight and value into their personal lives. And investing is personal.
Yeah. And I think what was really cool, so the first day, we had a happy hour, we had dinner here at the office. Everyone got to meet each other for the first time. And I think that's a very good point. I get to talk with a lot of these people over the phone every day, and it was the first time I'm seeing their faces and really understanding who they are, what they look like, get to talk to them more. So that first night was just a really meet and greet, get to know each other, get to see each other type of night. And then the next day was a full day event, right? Started early in the morning. It was basically like a full-blown seminar of great information on our investment platform. And then also we had speakers come in talking about self-directed IRAs, talking about taxes. We had a keynote speaker kind of talking about the global economy. Talk a little bit about that day and what you felt like that day was to our investors.
So the day was exactly that. It was a start to finish sprint. We kind of sprinted through from the moment we got there at 8:30 till we finished the night at the Deer District, which is our entertainment center in downtown Milwaukee. Yep. We just were going. Yep. But what I found most intriguing is the engagement of the investors. The investors have questions. People want to ask questions. This was a great platform where our accounting firm was there. Yep. We talked to Berkadia was there as a keynote speaker. We talked about the PDF. People asked real questions. People asked questions that other people wanted to know, and then they fed off of that question. Yeah. It was a full day, but it was a great day of overall education, Q&A, general discussion. We had a great lunch, breakout lunch upstairs at this beautiful facility in Milwaukee, and people who were strangers. I can't tell you how many people called me afterwards, like, "Hey, I met this person and we're talking about this, and we're talking about investing," and people are learning, and it's great. Whether they were some of our more seasoned investors or some newer investors or people who are contemplating investing with us, we had all walks of our life cycle there, and it was great.
Yeah, I think what's really cool is that a lot of people are gearing towards an alternative investment, right? They're getting used to doing something different with their money besides stocks, bonds, indexes, stock market, all that type of stuff. And I felt like this event not only brought the education to our investors, but that networking aspect where other investors got to talk to other investors. And we even had potential investors that were there about what these alternative investments are and what their actual experiences were with F Street. Talk a little bit about, those potential investors that were there for the first time, or maybe this was the second time kind of meeting us, what they got to experience with some of our investors that are actually in a lot of our funds today.
Yeah. I think it's hard to articulate that. I think the nuts and bolts of what you're saying is really fundamentals, right? We are through the entire educational process from kindergarten through whatever higher education you go, whether you concluded high school or you concluded at college or you go on for further education. You're kind of accustomed and groomed through media, marketing, traditional investing, right? Yeah. IRAs, 401ks, traditional stocks and bonds. That's what everyone knows, right? I mean, That's all you heard growing up. You knew what a checking account was. You knew what a savings account was. You knew what all the different gimmicks were. And that was all, if you go back to back where when you opened a savings account, you got a toaster oven, right? Like some people remember that. Some people are like, if you asked my son, he'd be like, what is a toaster oven, first of all? And then he would say, why would you get it for opening a bank account? Like that's how, but back in the day, you used to go and they would pick up, you could get, gifts for opening. Fast forward, alternatives are still fairly new to people, right? They're nobody's teaching alternatives in the financial literacies of our society, right? They're teaching checking accounts and banking accounts and savings accounts and traditionals. And so when you bring a forum like this together, which is starting at, let's just say 80 people, and next year it'll be 200 people. And then let's just say you keep adding to it. You're really creating the voice for the alternative market that is growing at paces. It would be hard to put a number behind it, although Kelsey probably could do that, right?
Yeah.
How much money is moving from IRA to self-directed IRA as just a number, which would be an interesting number to know, is so large, yet a fraction of a percent in the ecosystem we're in, right? It's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not a little amount of money. It could be billions of dollars for that matter, which is a lot of money. But in the fraction of the world, it's a percentage, a small percentage. And so, what the biggest thing we kind of you roll your eyes to is alternatives are only for the ultra wealthy, and that's why even you investor should not be privy to it. That's old school thinking. And now you investor who are interested in your future get an opportunity to control your future, and your investment is so powerful, and access, simple word of access. Access is now available to people who want to invest in alternatives. And it's a movement. It's just a slow train movement today that hopefully in 100 years, it becomes an incorporated movement into the ecosystem that's built for us today. And that will happen. Most people didn't think that you would be able to use your cell phone to pay for groceries, right? And before that happened, no one thought you could use a credit card to pay for groceries. Thought you had to pay for cash. And so if you go down that cycle, if you said to my grandfather, who unfortunately is not with us anymore, but if you said to him, hey, you're going to be able to pay for your groceries with a cell phone, he'd think you're crazy. And his same logic was he didn't believe he would ever be able to pay for groceries with a credit card. Well, now you can make investments in alternatives very easily, just like you can make an investment in Schwab. And that really is the movement, right? That's the power of alternative investments. And that allows people who are focused on their future and want to put it on a plateau that works better than most is going into alternatives.
Yeah, I think, we do a really good job here at F Street of educating on the alternative investments that we have. You either hop on a call with myself or one of our development associates or Scott or one of the principals. We're very accessible to teach people what these investments are. We want them to feel good and comfortable at the end of the day when they're investing with us. An event like the Investor Summit that we just had kind of solidifies our education process. Lets us know that we're here, we're real, we have a place that we work at. You get to know us as individuals, not just someone that's trying to educate you. We ourselves are invested in these deals as well. So we try to make sure that not only can you feel really good and comfortable at the end of the day, but you can meet us, you can touch us, you can see us for the first time and shake our hand. And I think the investors, from my experience over the past few years of having this, they really enjoy that. I mean, Scott, let's be honest, both nights when we had the dinners, people were buzzing around, talking to everybody. The energy was it was just a very high energy atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And I think investors want that. If they're going to be trying to make a decision for their hard-earned money and not just put it somewhere and set it and forget it, but they get to make the real decision, I think they like hearing from other people on what that may look like.
And they learn something from them. People learn from people. It's peer-to-peer relationship at that point. The energy was super high. I think, when you say set it and forget it, that has, to me, a guaranteed concept of success.
Yeah.
But that's not reality when you look at set it and forget it, right? You could invest in a company and it could be set it and lose it. Right? That's a viable outcome.
Right.
So when you look at investments and opportunities, what people get a chance to do is ask a real life question to a real life person about their real experience with F Street or our alternative platform or anything else in the world, right? What do you do? Yeah. And there were so many networks and connections that were made. It was pretty fascinating, the various different age groups, the very different demographics of people, the various different geographies of where people have come from. And then they all had different questions and all different reasons for being there, right? Yeah. They took their time to come. It was up to them to make the flight. It was up to them to come to Milwaukee, and they chose to do that, right? And we had local people, and we had some people took days off from their work. People flew in to spend the 2 days with us to either validate their investment, have FaceTime with us in person, one-on-one or in a peer group, to check out that we really have an office, that we're real people, right? I mean, in today's day and age, the world changes. So there were so many different reasons to come. The energy at each of the gathering, lunch and dinners and cocktail hours was remarkable. And it was so great to meet the people that I feel like I know better than most. Right. But I talk to them all the time. And then I'm like, wow, it was great to see you again. Yeah. So, energy high. People came for summer all. It was just a great experience overall.
Yeah. So, we do plan to continue to do these events. We do plan to continue to do more types of things out in the community, like even dinners where we can bring investors in just to get to know us, better understand who we are, build that relationship, that strong relationship, which you should have with any jockey or operator that you're investing your money with. So I do just want to say thank you to all the investors out there that did come, that were considering coming. Maybe you weren't able to make it. There's going to be other events like this that we're going to continue to have. Scott, anything you want to say to the investors about stuff like this before we get out of here?
Well, if you're a current investor, thank you. Obviously, we know we're investing. We become your trusted partner for your hard-earned dollars. I don't take that lightly. No one on this team does. If you're listening to this and didn't attend because of any other reason other than your schedule didn't allow, find time to attend an event. If you can attend one of ours, I know they're high quality because we require them to be so, but you will take something positive out of it. It is encouraging to come and be part of your future, right? If you're just so set it and forget it mindset, I encourage you to revisit that mindset, because I think that mindset has a lot of risk in today's day and age, that by the time you go to forget it, You could forget it and it be gone.
Right.
You could forget it and it be completely gone.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that can happen. And I encourage you, you work so hard for your money, figure out a way to pay less taxes.
Yep.
Figure out a way to be a smarter investor. Figure out a way to be a more disciplined investor. Figure out a way to better yourself, because we all have to retire. We all have to stop doing what we're doing at some point and figure out how to live in an ecosystem that, if we're just dependent on government, that's probably a set it and forget it that could be zero.
Right.
And the money that you're paying into all of the other different concepts, there's a lot of cracking in that system.
Yep.
I'm not suggesting fear factor mongering, no, but there's questions, right?
Yeah.
There are unknown questions, and you taking the opportunity to protect and enable your future to be what you want it to be.
Yep.
I think has a material part with alternative investments, and I encourage everyone to come. They're hosted. They don't cost you any money. They better you. Why not?
Yep.
What do you have to lose? Time?
Yep.
I don't think you leave our event or most events feeling like you've wasted time. So thank you to our current investors. For those of you considering F Street, I'm available always. So is Mitch and our entire team. Yep. We are all about open and honesty, transparency, and communication. Let's talk. Let's have a discussion. Let's see what's right for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with that, what Scott's saying too is, we're trying to give you an opportunity to take control of your future, control of your money, by giving you the education on the types of investments that we have and helping you make a decision if it is for you or if it's not for you. So, Scott, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're a busy man, so thank you so much.
Never too busy for a nice chat with Mitch, and thank you all for being part of our 2025 summit.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll talk with you all soon.
Take
care.